Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack on TCG, where today we have another deck profile for you from the Dragon Ball Super Saga. Yeah, Saga card game, you know what I mean. But before I get into that, just want to put a shout out there. If you guys enjoy the content we try to bring out, which currently is 2 deck profiles, a deck duel, and if we can squeeze it, we try to bring out at least more duels or more profiles in the set the same week. Hit that like subscribe button for us. Let us know that you're there and you want to see more of this content. But I am going to mention that in the future, at some point before Series 6 comes out, we will start a contest. That contest, of course, will be giving away a free box. So it's about 24 packs, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it will still be wrapped, so we'll send it to you that way, so you're not aware like, hey, we opened and took something out. No, it will be still sealed. So just putting it out there for future subscribers or whatever. It's there. But let's get into this deck profile. Last week when I did Frieza's deck profile, I made a comment that I was going to do a Bardock, and that is what I have done. So, this is the new Bardock leader, which is Bardock. And when he awakens, he's Bardock, Hope of the Saiyans. But in his base form, at being 10,000 power, he has an auto burst too, which of course you take 2 cards from your top of your deck, put them to your drop zone. When you do that, and only when this card is attacking a leader card, you get to draw 1 card, and this card gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. Once you have 4 or less life, you can go ahead and awaken this bad boy and get 2 of your energies back, which is pretty nice. Alright, so once awakened though, Sparking 5. When this card attacks, doesn't matter if it's a battle card or a leader card now, draw 1 card, and this card gets 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So kind of the same as the his weaker state, but it doesn't matter who you attack, which is pretty cool. Alright. But the secondary effect is actually pretty nice. When this card attacks, if a Bardock's crew card is in your drop area, you may choose 1 card from your life, place it into the drop area. If you do, negate the attack. So it's a way of getting extra negates out of the way in case you don't have any way of stopping a particular attack. So like if you have a triple attack coming your way, 1 life, that will save you from potentially probably losing, because by the point you have him out, you have 4 or less life already. So it's not bad having an extra negate on the ready in case you ever need it. So now this deck is not just a mono blue. I actually have a variant. It's a yellow blue deck, which means I play 1 particular set of cards, which are the Apes, obviously, and it wouldn't incorporate the Apes if I didn't play 3 of the Planet Vegetas. So Planet Vegeta is your basic field card. When you put this card on the field, you get to search your deck for 1 Saiyan with energy cost 4 or less and add it to your hand. Of course, then you shuffle the deck. But the key part of his effect, auto, at the end of your turn, switch all Great Apes in your battle area to active mode. So it allows you to get those nice, powerful attacks out. Then in your turn, they go back to active state for being blockers later. Because Apes we play are blockers. And side note, I cannot do Will of Iron as much as I love that card, because there's not really a lot of low costing Bardocks besides the swap one, but that takes a life when you play it, and I have other ways of getting cards, so I didn't want to risk bringing that one out and sacrifice it for other cards, so I chose not to use Will of Iron for this deck, but I have a few other Apes. We'll get to that in a second. Now, this wouldn't be a Bardock deck if we hadn't incorporate his wife in this case. So, great thing about, was it Gene in the movies? Gene, yeah. I was calling Gene for the longest time. I think a lot of people are doing the same thing, but Gene, she's a blocker, and she's actually free to bring out because my leader's a Bardock card. So yeah, as long as you have a Bardock in your battle area or your leader area, you can play this card from your hand without paying the energy cost. So in this case, it's a free blocker. And you're going to notice a pattern of a lot of my yellow cards I'm playing, such as the Apes. You combo with the Apes, and then they evolve. So, not a lot of stuff is, wow, this phone's going off. Not a lot of need for yellow energy, which is pretty sweet. Now, of course, I do play a few cards like the Planet Vegeta, which do require a yellow energy, but that's not a problem. It's important because it allows my Apes to continue staying in an active state. So, let's go into his crew. We play 4 of the Burnished Bonds Borgos. Sorry if I pronounce some of these names odd. I'm trying my best. But it's a 1-drop, and you get to draw 1 card. so it's pretty nice for a turn 1 phase. But his key ability is auto once per turn. During your opponent's turn, if your opponent switches their energy to active mode using a non-awakened skill, choose one of their opponent's energies and place it into their drop area. Now, the great thing with this thing is that they have Sensu Beans. This card was really good, actually would have been good against Unwielding Spirit Trunks, but because they pretty much banned that down to, I think, 1 card, you're not going to see a lot of those anymore. But still, the Sensu Beans will stop this. I think there's a yellow Desire card that will affect this as well. So, like, there's a couple cards out there that this card will make your opponent question if they should do certain things, which is pretty nice because they do it, they're going to lose energy, and what's a deck without energy on the field? So, that's actually all for Borgos because he doesn't have an ape form. At least if he did, I didn't find it for some reason. So, I do play 3 of the Planetary Invader Fascia, and her auto is that when you play this card, look up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 Bardock's Crew card among them, add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So once again, this is another nice turn 1 play because it allows you to bring more cards to your hand, so you have more resources or potentially more cards to bring out. I mean, she is 5,000 power, so it's not something you're going to probably attack with, but that's why we have 2 of the Hidden Power Grade 8 Fascias. So, if you're turn 2, bring her out for 1 cost, you swing with your leader, you use your secondary energy to combo with this card with your leader, and once you do that, at the end of the combo phase, this card will evolve from your other fascia. Once evolved, though, she has 2 effects. Well, technically 3, she's a blocker, but during your turn, at the end of the battle, after you combo with this card, which I just stated, you evolve a fascia into this card evolves pretty much. But the secondary auto is that when a card evolves into this card, choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards and switch them to rest mode. So it's a good way of stopping your opponent. Say if they had blockers of their own, or if they had like key cards they could combo with that could potentially be devastating, it will stop them from doing that. Or you could put their cards into rest mode and then just attack them to get rid of them. Your choice on that one. I do also play 3 of the Planetary Invader Tora. When you play this card, choose up to 1 Bardock Crew in your drop area and add it to your hand. So once again, another way of getting resources that you need to potentially bring out more Apes, or say if someone destroyed your Bargos, you can bring them back out to continue controlling your opponent's field from using ways of getting their energy back pretty much. I mean, that's it. But, once again, it's a 1-drop for 5,000, but that's also why we play 2 of the Hidden Power Grey Ape Tora. Once again, he's a blocker. The same effects, if you combo with this card, you evolve a card into this one. But when a card evolves into this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO that card. So that's not a bad play. If you can somehow get both these, the Fascia and him, out in the same turn, you can really wreck your opponent's field a little bit so they could lose important cards, which is pretty nice. So that's enough for all the 1 cost and their 8 forms. The next set of cards I play are 3-drop cards. And I play 3, and it has that shatter effect. I do apologize, but there we go. I play 3 of the Burnished Bonds Fascia, which is a crit. Has a permanent that if a Bardock's Crew card is in your drop area, reduce energy cost of this card by 1. So technically she's a 2 cost, which is pretty nice for a turn 2 for a crit at 15,000. But her key ability is place this card into, and this is active main, so it's after you attack, do this ability. But place this card into its owner's drop area, choose up to 1 Bardock's Crew card in your battle area, and switch them to active mode. Now, that's a very key card, and we'll get into it later, but you want to use that with this Final Strike Bardock, and like I said, we'll get into that when we get to that card, because Bardock's key skill of going back to active state is very important. But we also play 4, boom, of the Burnished Bonds Tora. There we go. He has Barrier, which is pretty nice. So you can swing with him. And as long as you protect him, you're good. Your opponent can't use any cards to actually just get rid of him because of the Barrier. Of course, this new set's been incorporating stuff ignoring Barrier. But try to work past that and try to hang on to this card if you can. Because he has the same permanent though, real quick, where if you have Bardock's crew in your drop area, you reduce the energy cost of this card by 1, making him a 2 cost instead of a 3 cost. And of course, I didn't say it earlier, but he is required 2 blue, so you have to have 2 blues to still pay for it. It doesn't reduce the Pacific cost, just the cost in general. But, so active main. So when you have enough energy for it, you swing of this guy, then you do his active main, which is you pay 3 blue, then you place this card in its owner's drop area, choose up to 1 Final Strike Bardock from your deck or drop area, and play it. Then shuffle your deck, if you look through it. So the great thing with this card, if you have Final Strike Bardock in your hand, and you're able to combo with him, which costs 1 energy, and then do the activate main afterwards, that's great, because you can put that Bardock into your drop zone, so you don't have to worry about thinning your deck out, because there's no need for it anymore, because you have the card you need already in the drop zone. So we'll go ahead and use that effect. And because of that particular effect, when we play 4 of those Tauros, I actually only play 3 of the Bardocks. Not the very nice, cool looking one where here, have it. But he does have barrier. And his permanent though, which it makes sense, because if you are able to put 2 of these out in the field, it will be just devastating to your opponent's hand. So, okay, if you have 1 on the field, now his auto is that when this card is switched from rest mode to active mode, if your leader card is Bardock's crew card, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and places it at the bottom of their deck. So, anytime you start your turn, this card goes from rest to active, boom, 1 card for your opponent's hand. Like I mentioned earlier, if you use Bond's Fascia, her ability, then once again, it's another way of, boom, he's back into active state. Your opponent discards a card, you swing again with him. Beautiful. We do play 1 more card that benefits this. We play 4 of the Tauros Red Armband. Of course, we didn't get the really cool version of this. I would love to get it down the road. If we manage to do that, it would be awesome. But this is a 4-cost card that when you play it, if your leader card is Bardock's crew, choose up to 1 blue Taura card in your drop area. And remember, we use his ability already to bring out the Final Strike Bardock, so he's in the drop area. So, once we do that, you send that card to your warp, draw 4 cards. Choose up to 1 Final Strike Bardock in your battle area, switch it to active, so boom. Now, that's the 3rd time potentially in the same turn, your opponent has to discard a card. Hopefully they have no hand by this point. They may, though. But, not only does he go back to active, he also gets plus 10,000 power and double strike. So now that you've swung this guy twice already at 25, he's now 35 with double strike. And for the duration of the turn, and then at the end of the turn, choose up to 1 of your energy cards and switch it back to active mode. So after you're paying 4 costs for that card to do all that crazy stuff, the card then gives you a way of continuing to be able to protect yourself on your opponent's turn. Where normally you would have no energy, it gives you that 1 back, which is pretty nice for our negates. But before we get into our negates, let's go over some basic cards. We play 4 of the Great Saiyaman Town Hero. And one reason why I chose this one is because of the burst effect from Bardock, and then the just ability of, you know, by the time you awaken, you've already probably burst 2 or 3 times. You have cards in the deck. Most likely you're going to hit 5 cards in your drop zone before you hit 4 life. So I'm able to use the super combo earlier than later, which is pretty nice for a lot of times because super cards allow you to draw cards. So that's why I choose the Great Saiyaman over the new Tulo, I think his name was. But we do also play 4 Senzu Beans. Basic Senzu Bean, pay 1 energy. It boosts a battle card by 5,000 power until the end of the turn, and you get to switch 2 of your energies back into an active state. There you go. So if you happen to play the armband one, yeah, you get to get your 1 energy back. Your opponent will attack. Use Senzu Bean. It gives you 2 energy, and then your leader. So if you do it to your leader, he's 5,000 more, which makes it harder for your opponent to continue swing on your leader. And if they want to swing, we also play 4 of the Dimension Magics. So even if I didn't have energy, as long as I have 5 cards in my drop zone, I will take a life to play this card for free. And then this card puts 2 of my blue energies back into the awakened state. So boom, now I have 2 energy again for whatever I need. So, but we do play some also yellow tech stuff. We play 2 of the battering lasers. which just allows you to place 1 yellow. So when you play this card for 1 yellow, you have to discard 1 yellow card from your hand and put it into the drop area, but then you get to negate the counter. So, sorry, you get to negate the counter. So if you're attacking your opponent, so if I was attacking that Bardock, that's 35,000 double strike, and they're like, no, I'm going to cancel that. I would use battery and laser to cancel their counter, or counter to counter in this case. But we also do play 2 of the Flying Nimbuses. It's just an extra way of protection in case, say, the best way going on it would be the Red Frieza army with the Ginyu ability. Just be able to bring 1/1/1/1 out. It helps protect against that. So your opponent can't swarm you to the best of Swarm is now. But still, I mean, if your opponent has 5 cards in the field, this will allow them to potentially only attack with 2 or maybe 3 cards. It also helps against someone with triple attack, too. So, that is pretty much my 50 card count for Bardock, Hope of the Saiyans, which is my blue-yellow deck. Hope you all enjoy that. And if there's anything you guys think that, hey, make this adjustment here, make that adjustment there, let me know. Our playtest, I felt like this worked beautifully. I didn't run into much issues at the beginning. It was kind of like I'm not getting a lot of yellow, but about halfway through the duel, I started getting my yellows just like that. So, haven't came across any issues yet. But like I said, in the comments, let us know anything you think we should change. Like always, give us suggestions. I have an idea for a red-yellow deck, which of course incorporates Frieza. I have an idea actually for a red-green deck, which incorporates Frieza and the Goku with Krillin. Kind of like reliving the Frieza saga at the end, but they work together. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get to that point. But if you think you guys want to see us do, let us know in the comments. And like always, thanks for tuning in, and have a good one.